Now it's time for a video. I've been meaning to do this for the last few days. From our good old pal Entheos Shines on Twitter. Because he talked about, by today's date actually, 5/29/2020. And I forget, is that the birth or death? I think it was the birth of John F. Kennedy, I think. And he had said, by this day, thousands will be arrested, all new justices, mainstream media in shambles, and hashtag American Reset. And I'm over here thinking, well, reset? We talking about a financial reset? We're going to have our debt wiped out? Maybe, maybe not. But if he resets Trump and them, resets American politics, again, regains control. We now have control of our runaway government. All these bad guys are getting arrested. They're going to be charged, which, again, we're seeing the proverbial noose tightening, if you will. Rod Rosenstein's coming up next week to give his testimony, and the Senate wants his ass in there. And they are going to destroy that guy. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Every single week is just getting more and more epic. So, hang on. Got a good case of J-Snip crap in the throat this morning. No reason. I haven't drank or ate anything yet. So, Entheos says, America's reset, January 2018 to present. Take a moment and look back. And he posted this a few days ago, May 26th. Take a moment and look back at what has been accomplished. Celebrate the victories and don't get lost in the noise. Many who lived through historic times fail to recognize or appreciate until years later. The final phase is ahead. Together we win. So, he wrote this. Way back in 2015, we stated Hillary had zero chance to win the presidential election. For the following 2 years, we were told we were wrong and that she was inevitable. She lost. In early 2017, while the media 24/7 told you President Trump would be impeached, removed, and/or would resign by year's end, we stated the exact opposite. We were correct. In early 2017, the media was thriving on the backs of clickbait fake news, made-up scandals, and corrupt investigations. We stated that over these next 3 years, the media would collapse. You now see record low ratings, mass layoffs at the media, by the way, and bankruptcies across the mainstream media being reported weekly. In early 2017, barely any judges or justices had been replaced, and due to Donald J. Trump's impending removal and a blue wave coming for Democrats in the Senate, he would not impact the judicial system in any way. Well, 3 years later, we're looking at all new justices and judges at every level, including reshaping the Ninth Circuit Court, which is true. That's a big one. And of course the Supreme Court. And the possibility of Donald J. Trump doubling the previous record held by a president by the end of his first term. In early 2017, long before QAnon emerged, again, early 2017, whatever, which it came out at the end of the year. People had not seen a single sealed case or indictment or any large human trafficking, MS-13, or spy arrests, while we stated over the next 3 years you'd see mass arrests, indictments, and thousands in prison. Now, I will say, me personally, and I think you probably agree, we'll see. When thousands arrested, again, my mind goes to, James Comey arrested, Susan Rice, Baker, John Brennan, like, a lot of those guys, some subordinates, that's kind of where my mind went on that. But, to be fair, if you add up in the last 3 years, the little tiny news stories, 115 people were raided. They were all due to child blank trafficking stuff. Okay. Not necessarily the trafficking part, but some of them were. Another headline. Very buried, CNN, they don't talk about it, but here's a little headline. Some people in Arizona. Some people in Ohio. Nebraska. If you add all those up over the last 3 years, there's quite a number of them. There's easily hundreds and hundreds, possibly quite easily thousands. So I guess, okay. Just because I thought it was supposed to be this, no. Do I think those people are still getting arrested? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I made a claim probably 2 years ago. Guys, the closer we get to the 2020 election, the more stuff you're going to see Trump used. Ammo, basically. Exposing, like you'll see, when he's done with them, the closer we get to the election, they'll be completely in shambles. The whole Democratic Party, there'll be like nobody to run against him because he'll have exposed all of them. They'll all be in trouble. Like, many might even be arrested. They can't even run. I said this. And we're starting to see week after week now, they're tightening the screw big time. So, let's continue reading. So, to go back one sentence, in early 2017, long before the QAnon movement, whatever, people hadn't seen a single sealed case or indictment or any large human trafficking, MS-13, or spy arrests, where while we stated over the next 3 years you'd see mass arrests, indictments, and thousands in prison, we were told this was impossible. 3 years later, there have now been more pedophile and trafficking network arrests than the previous 4 administrations combined. MS-13 and cartel-related arrests, terror cells, and ISIS. Notice the drop-off in terrorist attacks worldwide since 2017. CEOs removed, sealed indictments. He puts next to that. So sealed CEOs removed, and then parentheses sealed indictments. So apparently, these removal of these CEOs has to do with the sealed indictments, which tells me they may have stepped down for now, but maybe they're about to go to jail. University professors arrested across the nation, and more altogether totaling in the thousands. To the uninformed, this may not seem impactful. However, the need to remove these sleeper cells, parentheses, deep state foot soldiers, first was paramount. Who do you think does the hits? From mass casualty events to Seth Rich to the recent assassinations of courageous whistleblowers like Philip Haney. These arrests had to take place to save American lives. Also note that the record number of pedo and trafficking arrests not only saved the children, but cut off much of the deep state's operational funding. Again, this had to happen first. Lastly, long before any connections between Donald Trump and John F. Kennedy were revealed, we were told to look to JFK's birthday, which is today, as an American reset marker. So think of it this way. A marker. Well, what does Cliff High's Webbot talk about? A temporal marker, which means when this thing happens, not too much of importance, but it's a temporal marker, it means that A, B, C, D, E, and F are about to happen afterwards. Those are the ones you want to pay attention to. So, are we being told by our buddy Entheos, sounds like it, the American reset is actually getting ready to start? And again, it's not like, oh, it's your mortgage, it's debt. It's going to be a lot of stuff. I don't know if it'll include mortgage and debt stuff. It might. But America is being reset by taking down the deep state. It's starting, I think, is what he's saying. Again, if you're paying attention, you'd already thought it started. So does that mean it's about to get good? Now, years later, people know about the mentions of JFK daily in the Oval Office, and due to many events you're witnessing right now, a complete reset, both in America and throughout the world. As we move forward, we know that as long as we keep praying for President Trump's safety and health to continue, we will be victorious come Election Day, and we will enter into a historic second term that will indeed be talked about by future generations forever. It's a strong word. God bless President Trump, God bless the Patriots and White Hats who have risked their lives for our country, and may God continue to bless America. 'Cause I'm proud to be an American. We're gonna be free, because we ain't been free for a while. Till Trump stepped in the office. So, I did retweet that. I'm going to unretweet it. Undo. And now I'm going to retweet it so it's fresh in the feed. So that's really interesting. Take care.